What's going on, guys? Victor here from Dexter Outdoors. Now we got a black sea bass I'm going to show you how to fillet and clean today, and we're going to be using a 6-inch Dexter Sani Safe curved boning knife. The very first thing I like to do is I'll take the tip of my knife and we're going to outline our fish. So starting over here by the head, we're going to just take the tip and we're going to work all the way down to the tail. And see how nice that knife just glides down there? Okay, we did that. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm going to come over here, put the tip of the knife in my sea bass, and I'm going to outline it. And you might be asking yourself why I'm doing both sides at once, and you guys will see. I'll explain a little bit in a second here. I'll also outline the bottom of my fillet as well. And I'm always making sure that I'm over that backbone and not going through it. And same thing, we're just gonna get the outline all the way down to the tail. Okay, now we can work our fillet and separate it from the bone. And all you're doing is you'll use one hand. Mine, for me, it's gonna be my left hand. I'm gonna lift up and just very gently separate. And the colder your fish is, the longer it's been sitting on ice, the easier it's gonna be. And so you're just kind of working it back and forth until you have that meat separated from the bone. And you're eventually gonna get to the backbone, and always when you get to the backbone, you wanna make sure that you're going down. Now that we got a considerable amount there, we're gonna go ahead and make our head cut. Starting over here, I'm gonna go down and work around the pectoral fin right here and down to the belly, just like that. And now we got to separate the head half, or this top half, from the pin bones and go above that rib cage. And you'll see that rib cage is sitting right here. We want to make sure we go over it and not through it. And now it's just a matter of just separating. Always want to be listening for that bone. You don't want to just be going into flesh. And you guys see, there's the bone. I'm going gliding over that rib cage, over that rib cage. And there you go. There's the first half of your sea bass. And so this is what I was talking about, is there's this rib cage. Really important to go over that rib cage rather than through it, otherwise you're gonna have to take that off. So we're gonna flip our sea bass over, set this fillet aside over here. And this sea bass is a little bit on the mushier side. I like to work with them a little bit stiffer than this. He was very freshly caught, so he hasn't been on ice that long. And the reason I told you guys to make that outline is because you see how this fish kind of sits lopsided, because this head is so much bigger than the body. So now our fillet doesn't sit flat like it was earlier. So I like to get that initial outline in because it makes it a lot easier to continue with our fillet. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take this head down, the top section, go all the way down around the pec fin to the belly like we did previously. Now we're gonna be able to go over the rib cage and through the pin bones. You guys hear how that knife really breaks those pin bones. That's what you gotta make sure you do. And we just glide over that rib cage rather than through it. Okay, there's the other half of your sea bass. That's what it should look like. You do not want any meat left on the bones. You guys can hear my knife running along there. All right, now we got to skin our fish, starting at the tail end, working towards the head. Just gonna go ahead and we're gonna angle our knife slightly down as we go through, and I like to do nice long strides rather than a sawing motion. You make a nice long stride, you bring it back. Long stride, bring it back. Long stride, bring it back. And there you go. So now all we have left is to remove these pin bones right here. So they go about halfway down and they start from the head. We're gonna go on both sides of those pin bones. And we're gonna just remove them. They're in there. So you can see the pin bones in there. They're in the flesh, and that's what we got rid of. And then always just clean up your fillet and just feel around. Like there's a little bit right here. We go right underneath it. Now there are our two beautiful sea bass fillets. Now if you guys are interested in the knives we used today, go ahead and check them out in the description box below or at dexteroutdoors.com. This was that 6-inch curved boning knife, perfect for little fish like this. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.